Hey Josh, since you committed to Charlie, this is essentially your, I guess, second coaching change. I'm kind of wondering, did you rely at all on those past experiences to kind of get over this transition? And what was your experience with kind of teaching the younger guys, what a coaching change is supposed to be like?
Before I made the decision to do anything, I talked to my parents, and I never wanted to commit to the school. I never wanted to commit to a coach, but just commit to the school because that's where I want to be. Just gotta find out how to go through adverse situations, and it'll help you in the long run.
Anwar, go ahead.
I guess it'd be unmuted to help. I wanted to get your overall thoughts on the new staff and how you guys are transitioning and adjusting to those guys.
The coaching staff is really great. I really appreciate everything that they do. They come in with a great mindset, high energy every day, and I really appreciate that. I also want to appreciate Coach Beckton. You can see that the things that we do in winter off season really translate on the field, whether it's footwork and everything else. And he's just a great guy. And everything that we do is with a purpose. And coaches bring high energy and just building the confidence in us players, and everything is going great.
Josh, and is this your third DB coach since you've been here?
It's technically my fourth. I had Coach Washington, Coach Nyberg, Coach Valai, and now Coach Joseph.
So tell me how's Coach working with, I guess, Coach Reynolds, but then also how's it been to basically it seems like every year you have a new coach that's trying to teach you stuff?
I'm just taking in everything that each coach gives me, and I think that's what helps me with playing DB. Each coach gives me a different technique. I'm gonna use that and put it in my toolbox and go from there.
Chip, go ahead.
Josh, wanted to get your take on Darian Dunn as a grad transfer add to the secondary, and how Brendan Schooler is doing. I know he's working at safety, but I'm sure you've had a chance to see him.
Darian Dunn is a really competitive person. He comes out, like I said, high energy every day. He's smart. He's a great athlete. He's fast. He does everything right, and he doesn't make any mistakes. And he's just being accountable, and that's what we need, more guys on this team just like that. And same thing goes for Brendan Schooler. He played safety at Oregon. You can see how easy the transition was for him to go to safety and make plays and everything that he's doing. And he's just a ball player, and that's what, like I said, we need more of those.
Brian, go ahead.
Josh, just going back to Sarkisian for a second. The previous head coach, messed with the food, divvied people up. He had to be a champion, all this other stuff. I mean, is there anything like that with Sark, or is it just, hey, let's coach up and win and try to win games?
Every coach has their different beliefs and different things that they do. Coach Sark comes in, like I said, with high energy every day. He just takes accountable to his players, and he listens to his players, and whatever we need, he'll give to us. And I really like that about him. But like I said, each coach has their different beliefs and everything, but Coach Sark comes in with everything that he does and just put it in a great program, and he's leading us in the right way.
John High, go ahead.
Josh, you said everything is done with a purpose, and Coach Sark is a high energy guy. What's so different about the way he does things as opposed to what you did in the past? And what was it like in full pads yesterday?
I would say the difference between Coach Sark is, he just does a lot of things, like I said, that just stands out. He comes, like, we're in the middle of practice. He walks around, talks to each group. He's just different. I really don't know how to explain it, but he just, like I said, bring high energy, and he just wants his players to be accountable and disciplined. He's high on discipline, and I really appreciate that because, every team needs that to be successful. And full pass was actually today. Full pass went great. Although we didn't do a lot of live drills, we did a lot of thud, but everything went great.
Kirk, go ahead.
Yeah, Josh, what are some of the phrases that you're hearing in practice every day that shows what these defensive coaches stress and emphasize?
Just hustling to the ball, make plays, get the ball. Everything, like I said, happen. Like we want everything to just be a part of our plan. And like I said, just go to the ball, hustle, and communicate. That's really about it. Get the
Is
ball.
there one big thing that's different in practices from the previous coaching staff?
Not really. I mean, not really. But I mean, at the same time, yes, in a way of technique wise, different techniques that were being taught. But everything else is going the same. Just intensity level has picked up just because we're out there with more energy and everything else. But technique wise is the main thing that we're preaching right now.
And is there one guy to look out for who's really making his presence felt this spring on either side of the ball?
Yeah, I could say Jameer Johnson, corner. He listens. Him and JD Coffee. Those are two freshmen that came in just ready to compete, and everything they do is with a purpose. And I really I'm very high on those guys.
Thank you.
Westcott, go ahead.
Hey, Josh, are you playing outside right now, or are you playing inside at nickelback?
I'm playing outside corner right now.
Okay. And what's that transition been like with the new schemes under the new coaching staff?
I mean, it's really nothing that I haven't seen just so I've been here for 5 years, but everything's been going smooth. Just learning everything, like the technique wise that each coach wants, but everything's been real good. I kind of know everything like the back of my hand, so.
Got time for a few last ones. Cedric, go ahead.
Hey, Josh. You personally, what kind of adjustments have you had to make with the COVID thing always lingering, and and just in your lifestyle, because things have changed in your preparation and all of that. So what have you had to change opposed to different other springs?
Just being highly on just communicating with my family more. It's hard to go back home just because I got a lot of just my grandmothers and everything that's I just don't want to be around them. So just communicate with them more, and then also talking to the younger guys to do the same thing. Just communicate with their families, and also just take on adverse situations. Everything happens for a reason, and you want to look back on things and not have any regrets. So just telling the young guys, don't live with any regrets, and go from there.
Got time for two last ones, Terry and then Chip.
Josh, good morning. What areas have you improved on over the last season that you're really happy about, or what areas are you working on that you're really feeling good about?
So obviously last year was my first year back at cornerback. So last year I was focused on working on my technique. This year, more so mentally and technique. So just improving my mental game and trying to know the play before the ball is even snapped is my biggest key right now to get done. And I want that to be a big part of my game is my mental area. And I just want to take that in the long run.
Last one, Chip, go ahead.
Josh, what's been your first impression of Ray Thornton, the grad transfer from LSU? And I think Sark said the defense would mirror last year's defense. Is that the case so far?
Yeah, I mean, he came in high energy. He's just one of those leaders that just comes in and everybody feels him. Everybody likes going. He just brings the energy every day, and he competes. Me and him actually connected real quick just because we have that both leadership, high energy role. But I like the energy that he brings, and you really don't see a fall off in that. And I mean, he knows what he has to live up to and everything, but he's real nice, and I really like the way he competes.
Roschon, under Coach Sark, do you feel like the running backs will be used differently next year, and will carries almost be equally split up, you feel?
Yeah, I feel like Coach Sark will do a good job. He's a great offensive mind, so he'll do a good job utilizing our strengths, putting players in the right spots to make plays, be productive for the team overall. So I feel like he's already done a good job of that so far in spring, and he's just really going to put the pieces in the right place in this offense. So.
Are you going to be used any differently than before?
I wouldn't necessarily say differently. I feel like Coach Sark's offense is a little more spread out, as you saw in Alabama with Najee. He kind of used the running backs in the pass game and in the run game. So I feel like that's going to be utilized in this offense as well. So I wouldn't really say different, but in that aspect, pass and run, I think we're going to be some lethal threats back there.
Thank you.
John Hyde, go ahead.
Roschon, I know you are focused on what you got to learn with this new coaching staff, but what have you seen in the short time from the two quarterbacks and how they've improved and how that battle's going?
Yeah, they've made tremendous improvement from learning the playbook to learning the signals, going over plays with receivers, getting timing down. So both of them have made great strides to get that chemistry with everybody and just be that leader. Without Sam this year, we need a real leader to step up in that role, and both of them have done a great job. Both of them are different personalities, but you can tell people around the team respect both of them, and they're really battling it out right now. And yeah, I guess as spring goes on, we'll just see how it goes from there. So,
Chip, you're up.
Roschon, it sounds like Sark has unloaded his whole playbook on you guys, and it sounds like it's a lot of offense. How would you describe the amount of offense y'all have had to learn so far?
It has been a bit of a load, but at the same time, he's going to find out who's really in their playbooks and who's not. So at the end of the day, the people who really care about it, the people who really want to make strides to get better and win championships, they're going to be the people who come in the next day knowing the signals, knowing the plays, knowing where to line up, knowing their assignment, their technique, and all that. So it has been a challenge. At the same time, trying to balance that and school, but at the same time, like I said, if you really care about it, you'll dive into it and it'll start to make sense. So,
Brian, go ahead.
Ro, along those lines, he's talked a lot about hitting guys on the move, hitting receivers on the move, running backs on, getting them on wheel routes, getting them into open space. Mm-hmm. Is the creativity of the playbook everything that you had hoped? And what do you like about the creativeness of it?
Right. I think, yeah, it's very creative, the scheme of it. And I would just say there's a lot of different aspects of the playbook that he can take advantage of as far as motions, getting certain matchups. If you look back at Alabama and what he had over there with Devontae and all the weapons that he had with Devontae, Najee, and Waddle, all those guys, like he finds ways to get matchups and to just get those guys in open space where they can be special on their own. So, like I said, with this offense, Coach Stark really does a great job of taking advantage of those types of situations where guys can really just utilize their talents and be special.
Danny, go ahead.
Hey, Roschon, when you found out that Sark was going to be the head coach, did you try to reach out to Najee? Did you study Alabama running backs or any of his past running backs? Or did you just kind of wait for this to come to you to find out what, he's all about at the running back position?
I did kind of study Alabama a little bit. I don't personally know Najee all that well, but I did watch Alabama's film, just kind of get a feel of how they do stuff and see how the adjustment would be. And I would just say I kind of watched over just games that they had played just to see how they went about things, how their offense was. So, I mean, I did in that aspect. But as far as actually knowing what to do and everything, I kind of just waited till I got a feel with Coach Sark and the coaches of how exactly they want us to go about things. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I really kind of took advantage of just watching Alabama film on my own and just seeing how their offenses has played against various defenses in the SEC. So.
Joe Cook, you're up.
Roschon, over the past couple of years, Sam was a short yardage option, if not the short yardage option. And it seems like Coach Sarkisian doesn't totally believe in, using the quarterback in the run game as much. So are y'all in the running back room prepared for maybe some more workload in the tough short yardage situations than y'all have gotten in years past?
Oh yeah, the running back room will be prepared for anything. We got a great unit right now. So, we have two mobile quarterbacks, so I don't know exactly how Coach Sark will utilize those guys, but if need be, the running backs are more than capable of getting short yardage downs and picking up short yardage first down. So at the end of the day, we have a great unit to fill in that void, but at the same time, we have two mobile quarterbacks that are more than capable of doing that as well. So,
Sam, go ahead.
Hey, Roschon, what's the tempo like of the offense? How fast are you guys going? And also what, if any guys have stood out to you, other offensive players that have made some real strides in the offseason? Who have those guys been?
I've compared to other offenses. This one is more methodical. It's not as just tempo, more methodical, strategic in that aspect of like going fast and just trying to get a play after a play after a play. So in that aspect, that's where it kind of changes. But and then like as far as guys that I've seen stood out this past offseason, I feel like Jordan Whittington, he's come a long way. I'm glad to just see him healthy out here running around catching balls. Jordan, we got a couple of freshmen. Gunnar Helm, I feel like he's done some pretty good things. We still have shots to make, but at the same time, we got some young guys like Darian Thompson as well. I see him filling in the secondary and getting more physical and just challenging me every single day at practice. So it's a lot of guys kind of stepping in. And another guy is Ray Thornton. He came in. He's taking a pretty good leadership role and kind of setting the tone for the D-line as well. So it's a lot of guys that are challenging me after practice and during practice to just, be better and just, just have friendly competition. So.
Cedric, you're up.
Hey, Roschon, I asked Josh this. What adjustments have you had to make in your personal life and your student life with this COVID always lingering? And how's that changed your dynamic this spring as opposed to other springs?
Well, especially with all the COVID stuff, you just really have to be smart. You have to think of the team before yourself and ultimately for yourself, because with this COVID going around, I mean, you can put yourself in a lot of danger just trying to be a regular college student. So, I mean, really the biggest thing has just been to be smart, watch who I'm around, and put the team first, especially with last season, us having the potential to miss 2 to 3 games from getting COVID. So it was really like, you just really have to be smart around on your free time, especially with school, especially for me specifically. I mean, I really didn't spend much time outside of either on my books or studying my playbook because I just got into this business school. So it's been a lot of workload on me. So at the same time, it's really just about watching your free time and knowing who you're around when you're away from the facility.
Got time for a few last ones. Anwar, go ahead.
Hey, Roschon, one of the strengths of your game is ball security. And I'm just kind of curious as to how did you work to improve that, to be such a strong asset for you? Was it conversations with Drayton, or did you study a lot? I'm just kind of curious at how you became so good at that.
Coach Drayton does a good job of that during practice, making sure we secure the ball. If he sees any type of loose ball security, or if he sees us kind of swinging the ball, like he'll really get on us and make sure we have punishment for that. So at the end of the day, I feel like Coach Drayton does a good job of enforcing that, and I make sure to not let that ball touch the ground, because ultimately that's the product possession. So,
Terry, go ahead.
Sean, thanks for being with us today. What in the off season and coming into spring practice, what superpower had you been working on that you're happy that you've been working so hard and you're happy with yourself in that area?
I've just really have been taking criticism from my coaches going forward with the position that I'm in, just trying to better myself so I can better the team from an overall standpoint. So I was really been trying to take in coaching, trying to just get into my deficiencies on the field, and really harping on that this offseason. So that's one thing I've really taken into consideration, and just try to really invest in myself and what I really need to work on in order for me to get better as a whole.
Two last ones, Chip and then Danny.
Roschon, this is going to sound silly, but do you, when you were a quarterback, you probably dreamed, and you were a quarterback in your dreams. Do you see yourself as a running back now? I mean, does it feel totally natural?
I can't really say it feels just totally natural. But at the end of the day, if anybody asks me, I say I'm a football player. So I feel like I really could do anything that anybody would ask of me. But at the same time, I'm still learning in the position. I'm still learning a lot of things and trying to adjust a lot of things, because going from your whole life to really playing quarterback and then switching, it's going to take a few years to really get adjusted. But at the same time, like I said, I'm gradually learning every single year. So.
Last one, Danny, go ahead.
Roschon, unlike a lot of your teammates, you still have your same position coach as you had last year. Has having Coach Drayton still around, has that helped with this transition?
Oh yeah, definitely. Me and Coach Drayton have established a great relationship over these past couple of years, and he's helped me through a lot. So from evolving to the running back position and just trying to get better at my craft, I feel like he's helped me on and off the field. So at the same time, I feel like it's a credit to him for the position that I'm at today. So at the end of the day, I give all thanks and credit to that man. So he's done a lot for me, and that'll be a lifelong friend, father figure.